If you're looking for a sign for you to take that risk on yourself and start doing something that brings you joy, to start building that business of your dreams, let this be it. Hello everyone and welcome back to our channel. My name's Chelsea and I am one of the co-founders of CS Planners. And today I'm going to talk to you about listening to your intuition about leaving your full-time job. When I was in my job, I genuinely loved what I did. I worked with a bunch of students, working on leadership stuff, helping build students become the leaders of our future. And I loved it. It was so rewarding. I worked with a great group of people, but then all of a sudden things started changing. Now, when I talk about my job, I think it's really interesting because my job provided me with a lot of really cool and amazing opportunities. For example, I was given the opportunity to travel to New York, to go to the United Nations building, sit in the General Assembly and have guest lectures from Bill Clinton and other incredible leaders around the world. I also was with a group of students who were delegating with other international students to come up with a cause in order to help the world. I also had the opportunity to travel to Ecuador, where I was in the middle of the Amazon rainforest for 10 days with no communication to my outside world, and all I had were the group of people I traveled there with. Now, for me to say that I didn't get anything from that job would be completely unfair because I am very aware of all the incredible opportunities that came my way. But I was also aware of the things that I wouldn't be able to take advantage of. Now, for me, I had somebody tell me maybe 2 years after starting my job that they could see me leaving after 3 years. And I started questioning that. I was like, no way, I love what I do. I really could see myself retiring here. I was so happy. My life was incredible. When I talked to my friends, they were hating their jobs and I felt so excited because I loved genuinely what I did. But when I came back from the Amazon rainforest and I sat at my desk and there was nobody around, I realized at that moment that I wasn't meant to be there. Now, for some reason, I really started struggling. I started having these conversations with myself about, well, what's next for me here? I've taken advantage of all these incredible things that we offer to people. I've been incredibly fortunate to have been able to be a part of that. But I kept thinking, well, what's next? And I started thinking, I feel like I've gotten everything I can from this place. I've learned new skills. I've had incredible opportunities. But now I just feel like my life is on repeat and I'm doing the same thing over and over again and nothing was adding value to my life. Now, even though I had a great community within my job, all of a sudden, these things that really bothered me started piling on and I couldn't find the joy in what I did. So naturally, I started looking for another job. And as I was looking, I found some great things that I didn't fully love, but it was basically half of the work that I was doing with double the pay. So I found these incredible opportunities that I knew I would be perfect for. But I also knew that if I were to leave my full-time job, I would have to be really excited for it, or it would have to be worth my while. And that was my standard. Now, the economy started crashing slightly, and 2 of those jobs no longer existed. But I did have an interview with this other company, and I was very transparent, and I said, look, I do love my job, and I was told that there is a promotion coming. So in order for me to feel comfortable to leave, I would have to make a minimum of X amount of dollars. And I was very honest in that. And then they told me, you know what, we really appreciate that, but we can't offer you that amount. But if you're willing to go with this other amount, we would love to have you for the job, right in the middle of the interview. Now, I needed time to think, and they understood that, which was really incredible. And I also had a great connection with my employers that I told them immediately what happened. I told them that I was interviewing for another job. I told them I applied for other jobs. And only because I respected them and I wanted to have that open communication. And then all of a sudden, things started coming up that started pushing me out more and more. I couldn't stop looking at other jobs. I couldn't stop thinking about what's going to happen in my future. I couldn't stop thinking, well, this is my life. I only get to travel 2 weeks of the year, and I work overtime, and I'm super sick, and I can't take time off. And then I started crying, and I would be sitting there not wanting to do work and just needing to escape and wanting to get out of that place anytime I could. And then when I met Steph and she started introducing this opportunity for me, I thought it was a great hobby for me to take on. And then I started loving it. And then we registered a business. And all of this started happening naturally, and it got me excited. And then I started thinking, and I even asked this to Steph, what would you say about us doing this full time? And Steph, her response was, I was hoping you would say that. I was wanting to ask you, but I was too scared. But she was in the same opinion as me. And what is crazy is that literally that last year was the best year of my life in my job. So at that point, it was 2018. 2018 was the best time of my career. I had so many incredible opportunities that I would have never gotten in many other places. But then 2019 started changing. I wasn't happy. And all of a sudden, things started becoming very clear. All these things that people have been telling me for years of what was going on, I was blinded to. But now all of a sudden, I could see clearly. I could see what other people were talking about. And when I tried to make the change, I couldn't make the change. And there were a variety of other reasons as to why I left, but something inside me was just like, you're not happy. You're not happy here. So when Steph and I talked about leaving our full-time jobs, we talked, this is how much we need to make in order for us to leave. And for me, that was more exciting for me than to go into work. And doing this work was an escape from the stress and anxiety I was getting at my job. I've learned that was my intuition. When I came back from my Ecuador trip, there was no reason for me to be hating my job. Now, maybe that time in the rainforest did give me that time to think and figure out what I wanted to do with my life. But when I came back, it was, I couldn't find the joy. I wasn't happy with what I was doing. Now, don't get me wrong. There are many other things that really led me to making the decision to quit. But ultimately, I feel like it was my intuition. I feel like my intuition first kicked in when I started applying for jobs. I feel like that was my intuition naturally telling me that it's time to leave. It's time to go. Then it got to a point where the world felt like it was forcing me in that direction. And when we gave her notice, there was no regret. There was no, what did I just do? It was more just shock that I actually did it. And then it was immediately followed by peace and serenity that I made that decision. And I know a lot of people are in the same position of, what do I do? Whether you were forced to make that decision because maybe you were laid off and you're forced to start finding ways to bring in income, or you're in the position where you're like, I don't love my job. That should be a sign enough that you need to leave. And I know there are so many incredible people out there that if they were to run a business, they would be successful. But sometimes people need that sign to go for it. And if you're looking for that, let this be it. Your happiness is worth more than anything. So if you're not happy doing what you do, despite the fact that you might have loved it not too long ago, if you're not happy, that's the universe or your intuition or whatever telling you it's time. It's time to start taking that step. I really feel like I needed a sign to know that what I was doing was right. Even though I wanted to leave, leaving for my own business is even scarier because there is no guarantee. If you're looking for a sign for you to take that risk on yourself and start doing something that brings you joy, to start building that business of your dreams, let this be it. Let this moment be the moment you need for you to make that decision to focus on yourself, because that's really hard. And if you don't have someone telling you that it's okay for you to take care of yourself, it becomes extra challenging. You deserve the world. You deserve happiness. You deserve that opportunity to live the life of your dreams. Are you doing right now what you love? Are you genuinely happy with everything in your life? I genuinely was happy with my job. I loved it. I genuinely did. But again, now in retrospect, my intuition started telling me early on in 2019 that it was time to go. And when I ignored it, it was my doctor telling me, you need to go on stress leave because you might have a heart attack. And ultimately, again, if I ignored my intuition, the pandemic would have been the reason for me to leave. So if you are feeling like the world is giving you all these signs that you need to start focusing on yourself, listen to it. And if I'm that last voice to say, take advantage of it, do whatever you need to do to make yourself happy, listen to this. You're meant to live your dream life. You only get one shot at it. Make it count. Figure out what you love, what brings you joy. What do your dreams look like? It's okay to follow them. It's okay to take a risk. It's okay to take a chance. When I started, I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know if my business was going to survive or not. But here I am telling you that I'm genuinely happy, and I am still so thankful for that job that I had. Don't get to that point where your doctor's telling you, you might have a heart attack, you need to go on stress leave. Don't get to that point where you're so stressed that you can't find any joy in your life. If you're there right now, I'm so sorry that you're here. But this is the perfect time for you to start exploring your passion and finding what you love. This is the moment. This is the time. Take it now and you will never regret it. Keep going, keep growing, and you're gonna live the life you've dreamed of, because life can be a dream. And that's just by following my intuition and knowing when it was time for me to leave a situation that didn't make me happy. Thank you so much. Comment below if you're in a situation where you don't know if staying at your job is the best decision or not. Let me know. Also, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe and click that bell button so you're notified every time we release a new video. My goal is for you to follow your dreams. Make this life count.
Are you ready to keep growing with us? Make sure you check the description below for more opportunities.